What could it be that's more?
So, let's approach it differently. Everything thought has created is not sacred. It's not holy.
Yeah, well, because it's fragmented.
It's fragmented, we know it. And putting up an image and worshipping it is a creation of thought.
That's right.
Made by the hand or by the mind is still an image. So, in that there is nothing sacred. Because as you pointed out, thought is fragment, limited, finite, it's the product of memory and so on. So that's
it is the sacred, therefore, that which is without limit.
That's it.
I mean, and
there is something beyond compassion.
Beyond compassion.
Which is sacred.
Yes. Or is it beyond movement?
Sacred.
Sacred.
You can't say movement or
you
non-movement.
You can't say anything.
A living thing, you can only examine a dead thing.
Right.
A living thing you can't examine.
That's right.
What we are trying to do is to examine that living thing which we call sacred, which is beyond compassion.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is our relation to the sacred then?
To the man who is ignorant, there is no relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is true.
Right.
To the man who has removed the image, all that, who is free of the image and the image maker, is still, it has no meaning yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It has meaning only when he goes beyond everything, he dies to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Dying means, in the sense, never for a single more second accumulating anything, psychologically.
But would you say that there is any, you asked the question, what is the relationship to the sacred? Is there ever a relationship to the sacred, or is the sacred...
No, he's asking something.
Yeah.
He's asking, what is the relationship between that which is sacred, holy, and to reality?
Yeah, well, it's implicit anyway.
Huh?
I mean, that's implied. I mean,
of course.
That.
We've talked about it some time about this question, which is reality, which is the product of thought, has no relationship to that, because thought is an empty little affair.
Yeah.
That may have a relationship with this.
In some way. I mean.
Right.
And the relationship comes through insight, intelligence, and compassion.
How does what is that relationship? I mean, what is intelligence, I suppose we're asking?
Intelligence? What is intelligence?
I mean, how does intelligence act?
Wait. You have had an insight into the image. You have had an insight into the movement of thought. Movement of thought, which is self-pity, creates sorrow, and all that. You have had a real insight into it. Haven't you? It's not a verbal agreement or disagreement or logical conclusion. You have had a real insight into that business, into the waves of the river. Now, have you an insight also? Isn't that insight intelligence?
Right.
Which is not the intelligence of a clever man, and we're not talking of that. So there is that intelligence. You have already got that intelligence.
That's right.
Now, move with that intelligence, which is not yours or mine. Intelligence, not Miss Dr. Schenberg or Case or somebody's. It is universal intelligence. Global or cosmic intelligence, that insight. Now move further into
Move with.
have an insight into sorrow, which is not the sorrow of thought of that, the enormous sorrow of mankind, of ignorance. You follow? And then out of that insight, compassion. Now, insight into compassion. Is compassion the end of all life? End of all death? It seems so, because you follow, you have thrown away, mind has thrown away all the burden which man has imposed upon itself. Right? So you have that tremendous feeling, a tremendous thing inside you. Now, that compassion, delve into it. And there is something sacred, untouched by man. Man is untouched by his mind, by his cravings, by his demands, by his prayers, by his everlasting chicanery, tricks. And that may be the origin of everything, which man has misused. You follow? Not that it exists in him, because then we get lost.
If you say it's the origin of all matter or all nature,
Of all matter, of all nature.
and of all mankind.
Yes. That's right, sir. I'll stick by it.